you have ever been to Washington, D.C.? Almost everyone, right? Well, I bet you've seen well-dressed men in suits and ties, teens sipping coffee downtown, or maybe even children begging their parents to buy them the coolest new toys. Sounds perfectly normal, right? Well, now try shifting the perspective a little bit. You might notice a man standing by a street corner, holding a ragged cardboard sign. You also might notice men staring at a coffee shop, stomachs growling in hunger. You may even notice a child counting pennies in a cup, hoping that he can afford a new pair of socks. Most of us would probably ignore them, thinking that there really isn't anything we can do, or that someone else will help them. But that's not the reality. We take advantage of what we are given and aren't grateful enough for what we have. It doesn't matter how big or small your contribution is to your community, it just matters that you do something to help. When I started volunteering, I noticed so many homeless people who didn't have access to food. I also noticed that during lunch, so much food goes to waste every day. So homeless people and food waste. I put 2 and 2 together and decided that my nonprofit organization, Nest for Us, should focus on reducing food waste and feeding the hungry. This made me determined to help the homeless by serving freshly cooked hot meals every week. Just last week, when we were finished serving at a shelter in DC and were driving back, we approached a traffic light and saw a man standing at the street corner holding a sign that said, "Hungry, need food." On instinct, I reached in my bag and grabbed a banana, granola bar, and water that I kept in case I had gotten hungry after volunteering. I rolled down the window and I called to the man. The moment he saw me, I saw his eyes glow with happiness, and he ran over to the car, and I placed the food and water into his rugged hands. I could tell that he'd been through a lot in his life, and that he needed this food way more than I did. As if reading my thoughts, he told me, "Thank you so much for this. I was praying today that someone would be grateful enough to give me some food because I don't have enough money to buy food, and I haven't eaten in over a week. God bless you." I smiled at him and told him that everything would get better. Just keep having faith. He nodded graciously at me and ran back over to his crate, stuffing the new treasure into a simple backpack that held his belongings. This is one of the reasons why I do what I do. It only takes 30 seconds to change someone's entire day. Through our sandwich assembly projects, my team and I have fed over 10,000 homeless people. In our bags, we include sandwiches, granola bars, fruit, and a note of encouragement. Never underestimate the power of a note. It might not seem like much, but your thoughtful words could be the thing that changes someone's entire day, or even life for the better. So around noon, we headed over to Franklin Square Park in DC and started distributing the bags that we had made. Around that time, most of you would probably be heading over to your kitchen to grab some food out of the fridge for lunch. Many of you might not realize this, but a lot of the homeless people who live on the streets may not have something to eat for almost an entire week. Whenever we go serve them every week, we're giving them nourishment, not only in the form of food, but also in the form of love and care, which makes them feel less alone in the world and gives them a sense of hope. So once we finished distributing bags to the homeless living there, a couple of us were heading back, and we were approached by a homeless man. And he started off by telling us about how he had kept all the notes that we had handed out over the years, and continued to say how today's note had made him feel especially great after a long, tiring week. We were speechless when hearing this, but extremely happy and proud that our work was making such a big difference in the lives of the people we touched, as one person at a time. I'm inspired to give back because I know how fortunate I am and feel that it's our responsibility to help those in need. We also celebrate shelter birthdays and special occasions with our homeless friends. So last Thanksgiving, we were serving a giant Thanksgiving feast for the homeless. Thanksgiving is a time where family members come together to celebrate together and eat a hearty meal with their loved ones. But when you look at the homeless, a lot of them don't have much to look forward to. And it doesn't help that when we walk past them, many of us barely even give them a glance. So that's why my team and I don't just feed the homeless, we care for them by sitting down and hearing their stories, which gives them a sense of hope and makes them feel less alone in the world. So once we had finished serving, all the volunteers grabbed a plate of food and went to go sit with the homeless. Generally, people are scared of the homeless, and the media portrayal of them plays a big part in this perspective. But through my interaction with them, I've come to realize that they're actually very nice and wise. As I was talking with the different homeless people, I noticed that I learned so much that I would never have known until I had taken the time to go sit and hear what they had to say. I remember there was this one guy I was talking to, and after sharing stories, I learned used to be an ice sculptor in Ireland. He got so excited that he even started showing me the pictures of the different sculptures he had made. And I was really extremely happy and proud that he was taking the time to, and he looked so happy when he was showing me these pictures. And it just warmed my heart that he was so happy that someone actually cared about what he had to say. And I personally feel that everyone should be part of this meaningful experience at least once in their lifetime. I want the youth to look at the world in a different way, a world where they are not the center. Community service provides a great pathway for this, yet many kids claim that they don't have enough time to volunteer. However, I believe that you don't have to have the time to volunteer. You should make the time to give back to others. Nothing is impossible. You just need to have the passion and heart to give back. My nonprofit organization has grown from a small project to an impactful organization with over 350 dedicated volunteers wanting to make the world a better place. And even if you have nothing else to give to someone, your kindness will mean the world to them. It's always deep in my heart to do that for my community, and I hope it'll soon become part of yours as well. I'm a student just like you. If I can make a difference, so can you. Thank you.
Thank you, Shreyaa.